The radiant sun illuminated the bright spring morning. Various bikes, cars, and school buses stopped at a certain high school. This was the particular school Dwight Fairfield was enrolled in, and it was his first week as a senior. Only one more year, he would be free of his psychological prison. He could almost count the days. However, for now, he will have to suffer through the last semester. He sighs, locking his bike with a combination lock before slowly strolling through the main gate, reluctantly. His previous school years have thwarted every conceivable attempt he had made to fit in, let alone be one with the popular crowd. He wasn't too good at sports, though he made the attempt, trying out for his school football team. He didn't do too well, and a coach for the team rejected him. His next attempt, basketball. They've yet to acknowledge his existence. That, combined with his mediocre grade point average, essentially made him the object of ridicule. This year would prove more of the same, leaving him to hastily collect his belongings, rushing to his bike once that final bell would sound. One Friday, Dwight was sorting textbooks and journals inside his locker, reducing the weight of his backpack before retiring to his bike when, oh no, the bike was no longer there. The lock that kept it secure, now broken, laying defeated on the concrete floor. Even worse, it was the day Dwight had to work, and without his bike there would be no time for him to go home before clocking in. He would have to walk to his job from school. It was a long, shameful walk. During his stroll, he heard the laughs of his fellow schoolmates, the sound of throttle as they sped past him. When he finally got to his work, a small pizza chain just 3 blocks away from his school, he sighed, clocking in and retiring to his office, listening to the ambience of customers ordering, eating pizza, and occasionally being rude. Before his shift ended, more news. His boss had informed him that he had planned a hike in the woods as a mandatory team-building event tonight. This news devastated Dwight, not wanting to spend any more time away from the sanctity of his home. And without his bike, he would have to walk to the woods from his job if he wants to make it on time, since no one was too keen on giving him a ride there. That night of the hike, during their alleged halfway point, Dwight's boss approaches Dwight with a flask. "You look thirsty. Here," he offered. Dwight was feeling thirsty, but he didn't want to be rude, so he accepted, but he only took in a few sips just to hold him over until he returned home. Dwight woke up the next morning, disoriented, dazed, slightly hungover. His vision was fuzzy at first, but it slowly returned to him. A ladybug climbing a strand of grass. Once it reached the top, it flew away. Oh no. Dwight was still in the woods. He had blacked out throughout the night, and his coworkers were nowhere to be found. They must have left without him. Dwight panicked. These woods were unfamiliar to him. Not knowing his way back, he quickly patted down all his pockets for his phone. A sigh of relief parted his lips as he felt it. He grasped the phone, gazing at the screen. Dead. His phone refused to turn on. Dwight was left with two options: stay where he was, on the hopes that someone would find him, or turn around and try to navigate through the woods, hoping to find the exit. At first, he tried the latter, staying put, conserving energy, hoping to be found by someone. However, desperation soon took over, under the assumption that no one was going to find him, if anyone was even looking. He made the decision to turn around and begin the long hike out of the woods. As he followed the path, a sinister chuckle invaded his ear canal. At first it was subtle, growing louder and uncanny with each passing breath. The walk became a power walk, then a jog, a run, a sprint. His panic releasing a surge of adrenaline as he felt something reaching out for him, brushing against his spine ever so gently. A black fog smothered the woods, denying the light of the sun entry, further inciting panic. The uncanny laugh echoed throughout the woods as the fog slowly enveloped it, consuming it. Long spider-like appendages erupt from the ground at each turn. Dwight was surrounded by this fog. Tears fell from his eyes. Loud screeches of agony burst from his lungs as these appendages began to pierce him in all directions until finally being submerged.